Hello everyone, welcome to my show. I'm Lei. In the previous two videos, we discussed Xi Jinping's relationship with his military commanders, as well as his political motivation for martial unification with Taiwan. We even discussed Xi's proposed timetable. One big topic of crucial importance that we haven't addressed is the corruption within the People's Liberation Army, or the PLA. As heavily as the PLA invests in modern weaponry to destroy external enemies, corruption may be the most effective weapon that will destroy the PLA from within. Corruption within the Chinese military started in the 1980s when Deng Xiaoping decided that the PLA should go into business. In 1985, Deng drastically cut the military budget. As a result, the state funded only 60% of the military budget, and the remaining 40% was left for the military to make up as it saw fit. This turned the interest of military personnel toward money and created a deep swamp. The Chinese Army and Navy opened economic and trade companies, such as China's largest arms company, China Poly Group, which was established by the General Political Department of the PLA. However, the most efficient way for the military to make money at the time was smuggling goods, from cars and steel to oil and electronics. In September 1998, then Premier Zhu Rongji said at a national anti-smuggling conference, "Of the annual smuggling business of 800 billion yuan, the military is a major player, accounting for at least 500 billion. Tax evasion, calculated as a third of the amount, is 160 billion. None of it went to the military. More than 80% went into the private pockets of military officers at all levels." At the end of the 1990s, smuggling died down, but when Jiang Zemin came to power, corruption in the PLA rose to a whole new level. Later, Xi Jinping took down two vice-chairmen of the Central Military Commission that Jiang had installed, Xu Caihou and Guo Boxiong. How corrupt were they? Phoenix Weekly reported in 2014 that, on the night of March 15, 2014, case officers from the military procurator's office conducted a raid on one of Xu Caihou's mansions in Beijing. After entering the basement of the 22,000 square feet mansion, the officers were shocked. U.S dollars, euros, and Chinese yuan were piled up everywhere. Unable to count the massive amount of cash, the officers used a scale to weigh the money. The cash weighed over 1 ton. In addition to jewels and gems, antiques and artworks from the Tang, Song, Ming, and Yuan dynasties filled the basement. In the end, it took over a dozen military trucks to move all of the valuables away. Xu's mansion was priced at $54,000 per square meter, with a total value of $108 million. In 2004, before Jiang Zemin supposedly retired as chairman of the Central Military Commission, in order to hold on to power, he appointed Xu Caihou as vice chairman of the military. After Jiang's retirement, Xu and Guo, the other vice chairman, became Jiang's agents who hollowed out Hu Jintao, the real chairman of the military commission. If we say military corruption started during Deng Xiaoping's era, then Jiang Zemin and his cronies institutionalized corruption and made it legit. Everything became up for sale, including military ranks. Under the leadership of Jiang, Xu, and Guo, the PLA turned the appointment of millions of military and armed police officers into money-making opportunities. Shao Changyong was a former instructor at a military academy in China. According to him, there were different price tags for different military ranks.
我们那边以前的一个营长成为了副团长，那个时候呢，他一共是花了好像是70-80万，花了70-80万，然后呢成为一个副团长，但是事后呢，大家还有很多人都认为，他这个花的钱非常的值得。因为他上台之后呢，他有用各种方式把这些钱给收回来了，所以就是一个是干部的话呢，想尽了办法往上钻营。
Mr. Shao also told the story of a regional commander of the police force who tried to move up the ladder.
他当时啊，在当司令的时候啊，一年的这个就是这种招待费啊，就是1000多万。那么他呢，当这个司令员的时候，已经是一个大校了。当时呢，他的工作呢，该做的也都做到位了，包括当时的军委主席胡锦涛在一年内啊2次到他那个部队里面去视察，应该说他晋升为少将呢是很有希望的。这个时候他的领导就给他进行了一个授意提升为少将呢还差一步，这一步啊大概就是300万。
How widespread was the problem? According to Admiral Liu Yazhou, whom I featured in an earlier video, Xu Caihou told the investigators 2 things before he died from cancer in 2015. One was that of all the senior officers in main positions within the Chinese military, only 2 didn't give him money. And the second thing was that the other vice chairman, Guo Boxiong, was worse than him. An open letter addressed to Xi Jinping circulating online in 2014 claimed that a huge amount of military expenses had fallen into the pocket of Guo Boxiong's family. In March 2015, Major General Yang Chunchang said in an interview with Phoenix TV that Guo and his family not only took bribes, but also embezzled military funds. The CCP didn't announce how much money was involved, but some experts estimated that it was at least in the tens of billions of yuan.
尤其是我们说的军队的导向机制变了或正在变，他就靠钱。
有些人的儿子，有些人的女婿，有些人的秘书靠近首长比较亲近，或者是有的人通过金钱贿赂主官，这样呢就选拔了一些不具备能打胜仗的人到了重要的领导岗位。
Xu and Guo were also notoriously involved in affairs with women. Guo was said to have kept over a dozen mistresses. In the 5 months from December 2012 to May 2013, Xu gave 15 women whom he had sex with a total of 220 million yuan in cash and assets. 220 million yuan is about 34 million US dollars. Another very corrupt officer, Gu Junshan, the vice minister of the PLA's General Logistics Department, offered beautiful women to them, from pop singers to movie stars. Gu even offered his own daughter to Xu. According to Liu Yazhou, while Xu was having sex with Gu's 20-year-old daughter, Gu sat outside the room as if there was nothing going on. Those who knew of the incident said that to call Gu, the father, an animal was demeaning to animals. According to the CCP's own statistics, since 2012, Xi Jinping's anti-corruption campaign has taken down 2 vice chairmen of the Central Military Commission, 8 admirals, 160 lieutenant generals, and 18,000 cadet-level officers. And the campaign is continuing and expanding into military and weaponry industries, which are also plagued with corruption. In October 2021, the chairman of China National Weapons Industry Corporation, Ying Jiaxu, was arrested. Last April, the former chairman of China Shipbuilding Industry Corporation, Hu Wenming, was indicted in Shanghai for accepting bribes and abusing power. Hu's predecessor, Sun Bo, was sentenced to 12 years in prison in July 2019 for the same crimes. Before that, Gu Tiquan, the chairman of East China Shipbuilding, Wu Hao, deputy general manager of Avic Heavy Machinery, and Huang Xiaohu, chairman of Anhui Military Industry Group, were all removed. Liu Yazhou summarized the corruption like this. For the past 10 years, what has our military become? It has become a big market, and everything is up for sale. The military has become a swamp that does not trap the enemies, but ourselves. The Chinese Communist Party calls its military the Great Wall of Steel with the motto, "The party directs the gun." But as it is now, money directs the gun, and not just ordinary money, but corrupt money. And some call the PLA the Great Wall of Tofu. That's because from Deng Xiaoping to Jiang Zemin, the CCP leaders have built the most powerful weapon of self-destruction, corruption. But we in the rest of the world must be careful to not let the CCP's corruption contaminate our own societies. Here are the 2 previous videos on Xi Jinping and the PLA. Please check them out. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.